Hey everyone, hope you had a chance to read the recipe, lay out your ingredients on the counter like I've done, and let's get started. Here's Mom, say hi. So I have the butter and cream cheese out. We'll be melting the butter first, but I recommend you take the cream cheese and butter out 30 minutes before you start. And you want to let the butter cool, that's the most important part. So I've started mixing the dry ingredients here. I can't really show it in the video, but I try to even out the level of flour that I add to the bowl just to make sure that it's exactly 2 cups. And you see a little bit rainfall of flour on the side there. So I'm taking a ½ teaspoon of baking soda. Here's the salt. And mixing all that up together. Hey guys. So now I'm gonna add my cream cheese and beat it up in the mixer. If you don't have an electric mixer, that's fine. You can do this by hand or with a hand mixer. It's really important to get that cream cheese soft or this part is gonna be pretty tricky. So you just put it on a low to medium setting and get it smooth just like in the video. So I periodically stop to scrape my mixer handle with my spatula. It's really handy to have a spatula when you're baking, just FYI. So always have that with you. And this just helps make sure cream cheese is not lumpy and it gets mixed properly. So turning that back up and mix again. So next we're adding the cooled melted butter. Drop that right in there, and again, make sure it's cooled or it's gonna really interfere with the cream cheese and mess up the consistency of both the butter and cream cheese. It helped me to stick my melted butter in the fridge for a little bit. You can also choose to leave it out, but putting it in the fridge helps. Here's my brown sugar. If you want to go a little bit healthy, you can put less sugar like I tried to, but it doesn't do much. And here comes the granulated white sugar. Again, if you're trying to be healthy, you could probably cut one of these 2 sugars out, but it's cookies, so might as well have fun with it, right? And they're gonna mix together with the cream cheese and butter. You want to get it smooth, but not over mixed as well. Again, you don't need an electric mixer to do this. This can work by hand. You'll just get kind of an arm workout out of it. So here I stop and pause. My mixer tends to not mix at the very bottom of my bowl, so I make sure to get that cream cheese that's at the bottom of the bowl and incorporate it into everything else. So just do what works best for you and the appliances you have to work with. Up she goes. Combination of orange and chocolate chips. You can also do something like adding orange shavings, orange zest to it. You can play around with these cookies quite a bit and get different flavors and different combinations, which can be really fun and exciting. So I mix that up together pretty well. Now add in that flour mix that we worked on in the beginning in that separate bowl, and you want to add it a little bit at a time to this wet ingredients. I try to start out slow, at the slow speed, because you don't want flour going everywhere and your mom yelling at you. But as it gets a little bit more incorporated into a dough, you can speed up that process. Here I'm going to add more of the flour mixture. And I'm doing a pretty poor job of doing it one-handed, but I'm trying my best. Again, start slow and then you can build your way up. Now as the dough is forming, you want to make sure you get it just mixed enough and not overmixed. Now here's the fun part, we're going to add the chocolate chips into the dough. I'm just kneading my dough a little bit more, making sure it's all good. Here's what it looks like. Now I'm taking out a separate dough because I have a sister that has a chocolate knee, and you might have someone in your family who also has one. So I'm going to create separate cookies for her. So my measurements might be a little different than what you're doing. Now I'm going to add about a cup of chocolate chips, a little bit less than that. And you want to also add it a little bit at a time, just like the flour mixture that we did, to make sure it's even in the dough. You can't really see it from this view, but I'm just taking a spatula and folding it in with the chocolate chips. And I wanted to add a little bit more chocolate chips because my family likes our cookies with a lot of chocolate. Again, this is your preference and up to you about how much chocolate chips you can add. There is no right or wrong amount, really. Just make sure they're even. Sprinkle in a little bit more. Now I'm going to work on the other dough for my sister's cookies. I use butterscotch chips because she likes those. Some alternatives include like white chocolate, you can do caramel chips, etc. Same process for mixing these, just incorporate it evenly. Here's the finished dough. This is what it should look like in the bowl. Now I know the recipe says to make it into dough balls and chill it in the fridge. However, I don't really have room for putting 2 trays in my fridge, and you might not either. So I just put the bowls of the dough into the fridge and let it chill at least 30 minutes. I did mine for an hour and a half. If you do it more than that, that's fine, but just know that the dough will harden and it'll be a little bit harder to roll into balls. While you're waiting, you can preheat your oven. I did mine to 350 even though the recipe calls for 325 just because my oven is whack. So I take a tablespoon heap and roll it into a ball. Take little ladus out of it. I try to make it even as possible, but you're not going to be perfect the first time. It helps to flatten it just a little bit with your hand, and I'll be going back with it and flattening it with a flat tool. So once all the cookies are in balls that are evenly shaped, I go back with my baker's spatula and try to flatten it just a little bit. You can use the bottom of a cup as well. I would recommend oiling the bottom of the cup just a little bit so the dough doesn't stick to it. Even pressure, you don't want it to be too flat or it'll be a little crunchy. And there you have it, your flattened cookies. I pop them in the oven one at a time and they turn out golden brown on the bottom. The perfect time for mine is about 14 minutes, but it's depending on the type of oven you have. The cookies are going to turn out soft, but the bottom will be golden brown. That's the key to look forward to.